Tony here from Ashburton TV. We're at the truck show today. As you can see behind us, lots and lots of trucks. We're here with Robbie from Basic Engineering. Still Basic Engineering?
I'm still doing my basic engineering mechanical.
Excellent. Now Robbie's on the organising committee. Now, as you would expect, I know nothing about trucks. So I'm going to hand this video over to Robbie. He's going to show us around, talk to a few people, get the inside line on what's exactly happening here. Now before we start, Robbie, it's a great cause, isn't it?
Yeah, all funds are going to the Leukemia Foundation of New Zealand. Last year we raised $17,000, which was a good result. We've got, as people can see, there's a damn good turnout today. Hopefully another good event today and tonight.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to hand it over to Robbie now. Let's go take a look around.
So here we've caught up with the girls from the Leukemia Foundation. Now this whole truck show is to raise funds for the Leukemia Foundation. A mate's father unfortunately passed of it a couple of years ago, which is the whole reason we put this truck show together, to raise funds for the Leukemia Foundation. So I've caught up with the girls and they're going to explain to me that when we hand over our donation to them, how it's spent and what they do with it. Take it away, girls.
Thank you. That's right, Robbie. Thank you. It's fantastic to be here today. Beautiful day. This is Adi. I'm Annabelle. So we represent Leukemia and Blood Cancer New Zealand. We're the only national not-for-profit organisation focused on supporting patients and families anywhere in New Zealand with blood cancer. Blood cancer such as leukemia, myeloma, lymphoma. We are there wherever they are, and we provide a range of support services free of charge to help them through their diagnosis, through the treatment, and hopefully while they're recovering. So as I say, we're all over the country, including Ashburton, and we were absolutely thrilled to be nominated as the not-for-profit so that funds from the show today will come back and support our services. So Robbie, can I just tell you what we're doing with the valve caps today?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I looked at these before, so they're just valve caps that you throw on the car. What's special about them?
Absolutely. Well, you can put them on a car, you can put them on a scooter, a pram, a bike, you name it, truck. These are supplied by Bridgestone. They're a major partner of Leukemia and Blood Cancer New Zealand, and $2 a cap. Bling up your vehicle, and 100% of the $2 will come back to us to support our work.
So, just for the Joe public out there, yes, you need 6 of these because you've got 4 wheels on your car, the steering wheel and the spare wheel. So,
good point, Robbie.
I'll grab this.
Yes.
So tell me a bit about this monkey here. What's the story with the monkey?
Our monkey comes to school. So when we have a child that's unwell with a leukemia or a blood cancer, I will go into the school and we will talk to the children about what's happening with their little classmate, and he comes in and he's basically there to just keep the child connected with his classmates while he's receiving his treatment, or he or she's receiving treatment.
So this is like your mascot, so to speak.
It's a mascot, yeah.
No, that's awesome.
And we educate the teacher and the children about what's going on because it's pretty frightening.
The education is the most important thing of the whole thing, as well as the diagnosis and treatment, isn't it?
And supporting the family.
And supporting families.
Yep.
No, that's cool. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for your time.
Robbie, well, thank you, and thanks to everybody for their support today at the truck show. It's absolutely awesome, and absolutely thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for your support.
Craig, he's a volunteer firefighter with Ashburton Fire Brigade. How many years have you been with the fire service, Craig?
I've been here about 17 years.
17 years, that's just a wee few more than I did. So, right, we're standing in front of an Iveco fire appliance. Is this firefighting or a rescue?
No, this is what we call our town truck. It carries all the equipment for fighting fires in town, mainly.
Right, okay. So, if we come over to this one here, this is a 1938 Ford.
Ford V8, yep.
Ford V8. So it's got power.
Yes. It's a great old truck.
Oh, it is good old truck. So as you can see, we've actually moved a long way with technology and everything, from something that you could fix with a hammer and a bit of number 8 wire to something that you've got to hook the computer into.
Very much so.
So you're a driver?
Yes.
Big difference between driving one of these as to that and to the International further down the line, isn't
absolutely.
there?
Absolutely. Yeah. Way easier to drive and much more comfortable. fantastic.
Yeah. So how many can you seat in the back of this?
We can seat 4, seat belts for 4, so,
Okay.
and turn the front obviously.
So, short version, would you just give us a rundown? We've got a driver here, officer
Here,
in charge here who's pretty much in charge of the whole appliance.
and then 4 crew members in the back.
Right. So, and your driver is also pump operator.
Yep.
And then the 4 in the back on the end of the hose, and
They do the work,
yeah,
basically.
basically the higher up the ranks you got, I didn't get as many. This is the cool notches on his shoulder, which is what's
Senior firefighter.
senior firefighter. I didn't get any like that. I was just a firefighter. So basically, the more notches you get on your shoulder, the higher up you go, the further away you get from the end of the working.
That's pretty much it.
The further away you get from the fire.
Yep, that's pretty much the way it works.
We've just been talking to Craig from Ashburton Volunteer Fire Brigade. Well, we're standing in front of a 1981 International Echo 1810. This one's got a bit of significant value to me, is because it's my one. This is a 6.4 V8 petrol in it, so it's actually quite thirsty. I spent 9 years in the fire service, and it was just a wee, I won't say a niche market, but I go out to kids' parties, school balls, weddings, motorsport rescue with it. So this is just my sideline hobby with it. We're here talking with Jono. Now, Jono, explain this masterful wonder piece to me, please.
What we have here, Robbie, is a third scale barrel traction engine bought as a kit set from England.
So kit set as in it all come with instructions and every nut and bolt plus probably some spares.
Yes, exactly, and a lot of time, which is quite hard after 70 hours on the road every week.
So by the look of your shirt, you actually drive a Kenworth too, so you're a truck driver.
Yes.
But you also do this in your spare time. So how long did this take to put together?
Approximately 18 months.
18 months. That's a long time.
Yes.
But at least you got something rewarding out of it.
Yes, and it is probably more powerful than my Kenworth.
I'd actually second that. So you reckon if we got a strop and took your wee dolly off the back and took it down to a Kenworth,
I'd tow it along.
sweet. This is a challenge that I want to watch. All right, thanks for your time.
No worries.
We're standing here in front of two of these wonderful masterpieces. We're standing here with Richard and Daniel. Richard, tell me something about your machine.
Righto, this traction engine I've got was built in 1912 in England, Gainsborough, and they done everything that the trucks do these days. They carted the timber, the grain, the wool, they drove the thrashing plants, they drove piles for bridges, they shifted buildings, pretty much everything, you know, hauling 50, 60 tonne quite easily. Three trailers on behind or 4 trailers on behind.
So this is the early model road train.
This is exactly that. Yeah.
Just a slower version.
So everything that a truck does now and a tractor, these done. They cultivated the land,
Yeah.
and they drove everything in between. So I've owned this for just over 20 years now.
So did you buy it and restore it, or did you buy it
We drove it home and it was in pretty
from
rough.
England?
No, from
Would have
Waimate.
sunk. Would have sunk.
It would have sunk. No, we drove it home from Waimate. It was pretty rough and rugged, but over the years we've done quite a lot to it to bring it up to where it is now.
So we'll come over to Daniel. Tell us a wee bit about your one.
It's a 1908 barrel traction engine from Thetford in England. So it came out here in 1909 in January, and then was new to Clinton down in Southland, and then resided after that to Tapanui, and then in the later years in preservation it ended up in Fairlie in South Canterbury. So since then it's been up there, and I only bought it in 2011.
Cool.
And done a few repairs jobs to it, but as it is now is sort of pretty much how I bought it. There's a few more ongoing jobs.
But it's something this old, it's just tender love and care. It's like a woman, you treat it right and it'll keep going.
Yep.
So no, that's cool. I'm going to be nosy between you. This will be interesting. What's one of these worth?
You're looking at around 110 to 150k.
150k. That's a fair bit of coin, isn't it?
As they're sitting here now.
But you'd never ever buy a new one of these, would you?
Well, funny enough, there's that much of a demand in the UK that people are getting them built from scratch.
So what's a brand spanker cost?
I have no idea.
Vehicle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's just, popularity's making a comeback.
Yeah, there's only 200 really left in New Zealand in preservation, out of about 4,000 that we had in the early 1900s.
So for the size of New Zealand, 4,000 is not a hell of a lot, really, is it?
No, but considering the size of the land that they broke in and farmed and agriculture cropped, you know, and then carted and everything, they done a fair bit of work.
Cool.
They covered a lot of miles in that time.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
No worries. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're here with Fabian. Now, Fabian works for EnviroWaste. Now, explain this truck to me, because this has got two steering wheels. One's on the left-hand side.
Yes, you've got two steering wheels. You've got one on the right-hand side, which is just you drive it like a normal truck. The left-hand side is for collections only, and you actually stand up driving this.
So, if you hold this for a second for me, and I get in here. So it must be an automatic.
Yes,
because there's only two pedals.
yes, automatic. 1 foot only. You're only allowed to operate it with.
That would be a wee bit different to drive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It took me a couple of days to pick it up. But it's a pretty cool machine to drive. I get the looks there, you know, out of
I'm
the
going to
truck.
say it's very different to it, you know.
Yeah,
Very different. So if we go down here then, we'll come for a wander down to this bit. What's this bit down here? So this will be the working part of the truck. Explain to me what you do with this.
Basically, when I'm on the left-hand side operating this truck, I drive along on the curbside, pick up the green bin that's full of bottles. For example, just imagine it's full of green bins.
Yep.
Tip it in here, and put the bin down upside down. So that way I've known that the bin's done. Then I sort. Basically, you've got brown, clear, and green.
So one person doing it.
One person does it.
So then you put it in it, and by the look of that, it crushes it up, does it?
No, that's just after a hard week's work.
Ah, right, G.
Yeah, I'll just.
Right, so then once they're full, she's into the top.
Once one side's or one's full out of these three, there's two buttons on the side of the truck that I push, and the whole lifter goes up and goes into separate pots.
Cool. That's actually quite an impressive feat of engineering. Looks sturdier than the Titanic. No worries. Thanks very much for your time.
No, thank you.
We're talking here with Graham, otherwise known as Daff. Now, we've got another EnviroWaste truck. Explain this one to me. Well, obviously, it's the same as the last one, steering wheel on the left, as well as the right.
Yep, that is correct.
So, now this one's the wheelie bin truck.
Yes, it is.
Right, so you can operate everything in the hydraulics all from
All
left
from
side?
the left-hand side. Yep,
Okay,
all
so
operated on the
driver's
left-hand
side is when you're empty, driving down the road, this is purely to operate it.
Yep. So the right-hand side is like Fabian's truck, is driving to the job or to your first bin and then back to the yard. On the left-hand side is picking the bins up and going through.
Tell me, what happens if you get caught by Mr. Plod driving on the left when you're not actually supposed to be?
Haven't been caught that way yet, but yes.
No, that's cool. So this is the working arm here.
This is the working arm here, absolutely.
So it just obviously we'll have a wee bit of a demo in a minute, but it just grabs your bin.
Grabs the bin
and tips it over and in.
Yep, absolutely. So what happens is that we try and get as close to the bin as we possibly can and pick the bin up. Sometimes with cars parked in the road, we've got to bring the arm out to pick the bin up to bring it back to tip it into the hopper.
So you just don't carry on driving and make them learn for next time?
No, we've got to pick up every bin.
Cool. Foolproof? Or have you broken a few bins?
I haven't broken one yet.
How long have you been doing it?
A couple of months, 3 months, since the
That's
1st of September.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So this is the working parts of rubbish recycle truck. We've got the operator in the cab now, so he's just going to come out and pick it up and just show you how it's done. Take it away, driver. Geez, rubbish removal's never been so easy. They actually, to be honest, they're all having a joke here saying, that would pick me up, but I just seen the sticker and it says it's only rated to 100 kg, so no, I'm shit out of luck. Now, we're standing in front of a Kenworth, which is not my favourite truck on the road, but apparently it's still a good truck. Apparently. Now, tell me a wee bit about this one, because this is what they call a Canadian Kenworth, isn't it?
That's dead right. It's a ex-Pan Pac from forestry, and then it went heavy hauling up north, and then it ended up in Matera, and William at Southern Truck Wreckers bought it.
Oh, Willie.
Yep.
My mate Willie.
Yep, he's my good mate too. And I bought it off Will.
Yeah, so how much do you know about these? Because these particular ones didn't come in with front brakes into New Zealand, did they?
This one did.
So this one had it, but some of them didn't.
The earlier ones didn't.
Right.
This was a 76. They spec'd, I think it was a dozen of these at 350 horsepower. They were 335s with an aftercooler. Wee bit different than the 335s. But,
cool. So now you're saying it was a transporter, so he's actually got a video, photo of it. Hold that one. Video over here. This is the transporter one. But at the moment it's actually got a box. It's got a box body on the back, and it's his home away from home. Well, possibly the dog box when the missus gets grumpy with him. But if you hold that for a second,
yep.
It was also like this for 10 years.
And hence I live in that now, the box, and found that to put it back on and keep her on the road.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're living in that box?
Yep. We live in that on my property. I bought a property in Stillwater, and we park up on that.
And you put that one on the road, and that's
bought that for a workshop actually, and it looked all right, so we threw it on the back of here, and that was about 18,000 k's ago, about 2 years ago. So we've done about 18,000 k's.
So you just took your tour around the truck shows?
Yep. Oh no, this is only a second show.
Cool.
Done an Ashburton show in the rain. The Nelson
right.
Truck Show, and
well, at least we put on a good day here for you.
Yeah, no, it's very nice, and here we go. So.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Cheers.
So we're here talking to Tim. Now Tim's got a man, and I've actually just hit him up and I said, isn't it a glorified ERF? But I just got sworn at. So tell me a wee bit about this one. It is, it's European, obviously.
Yes.
How many horsepower has it got under it?
540.
540. So it's not as big horsepower as some Kenworths, but it's probably a lot comfier to drive.
Yes.
A lot comfier to drive.
It's not a beer crate.
It's not a beer crate with a folding seat and you lose your butt cheeks in the back.
Pretty much.
So the motor in it's man.
Yes.
So basically, whole truck's man.
Yes.
So it's not like a DAF that's Kenworth in disguise because it's too embarrassed to be a real truck. Well, a Kenworth's not a real truck. Now we've got a 5X. There's a curtain sider. Now is this just a curtain sider or is there a refrigerated curtain sider?
No, just a plain curtain sider.
Right. What's your tier weight?
22.5 all up, both units together.
22.5. What? 5 axles. So you'll be looking at max 50-ton max sticker.
Yes.
Cool. What do you normally haul on this particular one?
We built it for carting DB through to foodstuffs.
DB.
So
alcohol.
Pretty much.
Cool.
36 spaces of it.
So 36 spaces.
Yep.
So 36 pallets too high.
No, just one.
Just one high.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tim's actually just had a rethink. Now, what's your maximum sticker weight?
58.5.
58.5 tonnes. So that's a fair load. So what's your payload?
37.5.
So the ones that don't know, 37.5 tonne is 37,500 1 litre bottles of milk. If you want to, try and put that into perspective. Now, what's your maximum length?
23 metres. We're full length.
Full length is 23 metres.
Yep.
So that's quite a wide turning circle.
Yeah, it can be quite difficult in some places.
Now, and like these are quite ergodynamic. I've got it right the second time.
Big word.
Oh, that's a big word for a very basic guy. Lot of views, big mirrors on this to see behind, and big windows, but you're still very limited for the ignorant wee car driver that you can't see.
Yep.
See, if we'll call this my hand. We come out here. He'd just see my hand from here. So all this down here is what they call a blind spot. You could fit a family car in that. From there he can't see a damn thing, and that's why accidents happen, because he takes a wider turn to get round the corner, and some soccer mum pulls up in the family wagon and tries to cut him off because she thinks there's a gap, but the gap is actually there because he needs to get this whole length out round the corner. We're here with Anthony. Now Anthony, this looks a very interesting piece of kit. Explain to me what it is.
It's called the Aussie Rimshon. I think it was developed in Australia and brought it over to polished truck rims.
So it's developed in Australia, so it'd be really good because they've got the dusty outback roads with turbo.
Yeah, I think
so it should bring up a rim really good and polished.
It does very good. They use them a lot in Australia.
How long does it take to do a rim?
Anywhere between 3 and 7 minutes, depending on how long the cut has to be, how bad it is when you first start.
So she's coming up pretty grimy to start off with, but that's just all road tar and everything coming out, is it?
It's a polish as well.
Polish doing its thing. So is it just one cut like that until it comes up shiny, or have you got different levels of polish you put on it?
No, I'll do 2 with the cut, and then I'll do 2 with the polish, with the finish.
But you can start to see the shine coming up with that already.
Yes.
Right, this is Mike. Now Mike's from ProTrans. Now this is a Mac. I've got a lineup of Macs here with a few Kenworths, one Kenworth. So it just actually goes to show you that Mac, Kenworth. So tell us about this Mac.
It's a 1984 FR. It was brought by the Ministry of Works in Turingi. It's the only Mac only FR that was ever built with an Allison automatic in it for the Ministry of Works.
So what's the advantage of the automatic in it?
I have no idea. Probably a lazy man drove it, but I shouldn't say that because a good friend of mine's old man got it brand new.
Okay, so it was just something that Mac decided to do.
Yeah, something that Ministry of Works wanted, I'd say.
Right. What sort of motors in it?
V8 375.
So it sounds pretty awesome then.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
It makes coal.
Burns bit of soot comes out the top.
Yeah, it burns diesel. Looks good.
Yeah, well, I bet it does look good.
Oh, looks amazing.
So you told us a bit about your truck. It's got a transporter on the back, low loader, fancy looking low loader actually, to be fair. And on the back of that there's a Mack dump truck.
1976.
1976. So we'll wander down and have a bit of a look at that, shall we?
Yeah.
So this is a Mack tipper, earth moving truck. What can you tell us about dump truck?
Dump truck.
Big boy's toy. What can you tell us about this one?
It is a bit of a toy. Spends most of its day on here nowadays, but we used to use it a bit. It's got a 671 Detroit in it as well. Only quality things have Detroits in them. Like that Kenworth down the end.
Bet you if I go down, it's probably got a red head in it.
No, let's tip the bonnet and I'll prove you wrong.
Right, we might just do that actually. So this is just the showpiece really now then?
Well, really, we have used it on a few jobs in town and still use it occasionally. But
what's your payload in this machine?
Showcase. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess at what's been in it.
Right, so there's a difference between what's been in it and what's legal.
Probably 20 tonne.
Right, 20. But this thing you can't drive on the road, can you?
No.
So this is purely an on-site.
It was a quarry truck from New Plymouth.
Right,
but
so
I don't know much of its history before
right,
then.
no, that's cool. Just coming back, if you come over this way, this is a different sort of low-loading trailer.
It is. It's folding gooseneck, old style.
So basically, how this works, they've got where's your landing legs?
They don't have landing leads. If you look at the winch on the
Oh,
front,
that's right. Yep.
what happens is they pin the winch in the front to it. You unhook it. It rolls. You winch it down over the back of these. A bit of roller thing. Sits on the ground. Pull the pins out of it. Drop the front of it with a winch. Drive whatever you want on and off. Pick it up. Block it. Lift it up the same.
Okay, so wee bit of shagging around, is it? But it looks like it'll hold a lot
how
more
they
weight.
used to do it in the old days.
Well, that's probably dead right.
A lot more shagging around than you've done.
That's yes, quite possibly. And looking under here, it's got a 90mm fifth wheel.
Certainly has. But there is a.
But so that's a heavier rated pin.
Yes.
So what's the total tier weight you can? What's the total tier weight of this unit?
God knows.
Right. What's the total weight you can carry on it?
God knows.
Right, sounds good. So we're here again in front of a half quality truck, and I've actually told him he's got a wee bit of smudge on his top, but
He's got a wee bit of smudge on his nose too in a minute.
But he tells me he knows everything about this particular Kenworth. So rattle all off, everything off about this Kenworth. Rattle it off.
1983 W924AR has a V8 92 Detroit in it.
So it's got a V8 in it, this one.
V8.
How many Kenworths come out with V8s in them?
Oh, a few. TD's had quite a few. Probably, I don't know, I'd hazard a guess, probably 50 or 80.
So it's only a small handful compared to what's
compared to Cumminses and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's dead right. So there's only a small handful around in the wrecking yard with that sort of motor in it.
Well, this one actually has a brand new motor in it from a box, but it's not worth wrecking just yet.
So it's like Aladdin's axe.
Well, pretty much.
You reckon?
Pretty much. There's not
so you
many
break a
left
handle,
with
you fix. You break the handle, you fix the handle, put a new handle in it. You break the head.
Well, it's only had 8 new heads and 12 new handles, and it's still a good old axe.
Right. Okay. But if it was Western Star, you'd just keep on trucking and not stop.
No, you probably drive it straight to the scrap metal dealers.
Thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
You're most welcome.
So there we have it, another fabulous day in Ashburton, you know, put on the sun for you. So come back and see us in another couple of years, 2 years time, all funds are going to a good cause. Cheers, Robbie, over and out. Woohoo!